So today I want to show you can be able to calculate the number of sheets or iron sheets, and I've shown this method before. So maybe before I talk about it, we did the the roofing of this structure. It was built in Eldoret, and we went and did the roofing for it. There's a different person who had begun construction of the same, but he messed up and he stole some money, then he ran away. So for us, we came in to do the roofing, and also we did the plaster works for the same. The guy did not do a good job, but for us, we did something amazing. And I think I'll touch pictures on this while I'm talking like this. But right now, I'm on Archicad, and I just want to show you the trick that I've been using for a long time. And I don't know if you use it or not, but I've taught 2 ways on the channel in the past of how you can be able to calculate the number of iron sheets. And maybe the third way is you just send to a company. If you send your drawing to a roofing company, they'll give you the quote for the number of sheets that you need and everything. But if you don't know how to do, if you don't want to send it to a company and you want to determine the number of sheets yourself, this method will help you a lot. And for me, I find it to be the most accurate one. I know I've shown one where you can just calculate using some mathematical formulas, but that one usually has some errors in it. Sometimes you get better results, sometimes you don't. But for this one, usually it's very, very accurate. 100% or maybe 99%. Now it will depend with on the site. If you change some things, then it won't be that accurate, but in most cases this method is very accurate. So I know it's a building, but it doesn't have windows and everything, but I just want to show you how to do it. I want to do something on it. I'm supposed to design some parts of it. The ceiling, that is because you're supposed to do a ceiling on it, so I'm supposed to design the ceiling and maybe some painting. That's what I wanted to do. Then when I opened it, I saw it this way and I said, man, let me first talk about this. And this one we did about maybe 2 years, I think 2 years ago, almost 2 years ago. So the best way to do it, or how you do it, is you first of all come up with these ones are called, for me I call them rafters. They're called rafters. So once you come up with rafters, and the way I space my rafters is depending with how I'm going to place my sheets, my iron sheets. So that's how I place my rafters, because I've played with it. So like, you have deleted one and I've deleted more. And how you place your rafters, even here I deleted one. How you place your rafters is just easy. But before I show you how to place the rafters, I just want to show you maybe how I estimate. And you, maybe if you disagree with me, maybe let me know your method. But for me, I've been using this and it works perfecto. So first of all, like this one, I might want, when I'm doing the roofing, I want to have when you have the nails, either the nails or the screws, you want all the nails to be on maybe one line. For the first row of roofs, you want the nails to be along a certain line. So for this one, because I want nails to be at a certain line, all the nails, like if it is horizontal, I want them to be on a certain horizontal line. So the first, to determine which type of sheet I'm going to use as the first one at the bottom, it was easy, or it is just easy. I used the longest span. So this one is the longest one. Technically this one is the longest, but it depends. You can either use the longest or you can use another one. So if I have this one, I can I press Ctrl T and I see that its dimension is 6.3. So if it's 6.3, most probably I might want to begin with something like 2 meters or 2.5. So in this case, we're talking about the normal sheets, which if you go to any shop right now, you can find them, the 2 meters, 2.5 and 3 meters. And those, usually those type of roofs, there are 2 types. There are those ones which are 2 meters by, it can be 2 meters by 850, or sometimes it can be 2 meters by, I think there's 900, but I know there's all the way up to 1200. There's up to 2 meters by 1200. So it depends with which type of sheet you want to use. And maybe before I go in and explain how I do this, let me first show you, because so that maybe we can walk through it together. Let me just show you quick how I place all these rafters. So if you want to place the rafters, you must be on the ground floor or the floor plan of the structure, and then you select the roof. If you have the roof, that is, you select your entire roof. Mine, I think I did something to it, but make sure you select your entire roof. And once you select your entire roof, you go to I think it's design, then you go to roof extras, then you go to roof maker, and you go to roof wizard. You go to design, then you go to roof extras, you go to roof wizard, then you go to roof maker, then roof wizard. I'm talking slowly so that some people can understand, because there are those who usually miss the step and they feel like you don't explain well. But I know I've been told that I explain well when it comes to Archicad. The only issue with it is now these tutorials people download and I don't benefit from them. That's why nowadays I don't do a lot of them. So people download and reach out to me like all the time. I downloaded your videos and they show me. But if you watch them on YouTube, I feel nice. But if you download them now, using those third-party software doesn't help me at all. So when you're here now, you have the width, which is 8 meters. 8 millimeters means about 3 inches. So this one you'll have to set it to be according to your standard. Now this one is a different one, but from what I know, the width is about 50. If you're using, depends on the type of tree you're using. If you're using 4x2 frames, then 2 is 50, and 4x4 is 25 times 4, which is 100. If you're using the normal ones that we all use, is 100. Then now you want the distance between normal rafters. So the distance between normal rafters, this is where now I set to be like the distance between one sheet to another, including the overlapping. So like I said, if it's the normal one, which is 850 millimeters, usually that one you want to use 750. You overlap by about 100 millimeters. 100 millimeters is like 4 inches. Yeah, you're overlapping by about 4 inches, which is okay. So again, when it comes to overlapping depends with the place that you are and also the angle of the roof. If the roof angle is if where you are it rains a lot, then you want the roof angle, the pitch, to be a little bit high. And if the pitch is high and also it rains a lot, you want to increase the overlapping distance. Some people even do overlapping of 2 inches. I've seen 2 inches. There's a place I saw 1 inch and it was doing what? It used to leak. But also it depends on the workmanship of the people working on it. But usually when you do overlapping, try to consider the rain. If it's a place where it doesn't rain a lot, then you don't want to do a very big overlap. But that we'll talk about another day. So for me, I do 750 mm, the distance between normal rafters. Then you can say add extra rafters to big gaps, or you can uncheck it. On this side, I did uncheck it. I think the type of sheets that we are using for the other project was it 1,000? I think it was the one for 1100 or 12 or 1150. But there's a dimension that we were given from the shop where we were supposed to buy them. So we were given the dimension of the available sheets. Then we used that one. That is what I used to estimate the other one. So this usually will be checked on automatic. So for me, I prefer to uncheck it so that I know how to estimate better, because I don't want to estimate rafters. I want to estimate the number of sheets, and I'm going to use the spacing between rafters to estimate that. Then I just click OK. So once you click OK, it will generate automatically. But of course, I'm going to delete that one because I already have the other one in place. But it will generate automatically. So the primary one, like I said, it was 1,000 to 1,000. Then this one, which I'm using now, is 750. Let me delete the one for 1,000 so that I leave the one for 750. Like I said, so the one for 1,000 is because we were given by a certain shop. I think the type of sheet was about 1,100. I don't remember. We did this like about 2 years ago. I think it was 1,100. But there's a specified the measure that we were given. And now I considered the overlap and came up with 1,000. So for like this one now, if I have this in place now, I want to know like how many sheets I will have on this side. So to do something like this, again, is pretty easy and pretty simple. So first of all, you just click on one and you suspend groups, then you'll click on one, and you want to know its properties. So Control T, and I see the properties here in roof maker settings. I see the properties is 2169, this one. So technically on this side I'm going to use 2 meters. So it will depend again with this one. You see this one, the distance from here to here, which is set as your overhang. Now it will depend with the overhang that you set for yourself. So in my case, the overhang, this is what we went with, but it depends. If you want to change the overhang, you can change for the roof itself. When before you come and do a lot of it, you'll see it somewhere here in multi-plane geometry where you can change the overhang. So for my overhang, this one we had to go with 2.5 sheets that measure 2.5. So all I have to do is to count how many do we need. So it's very easy. You just count one, like you just use these boxes, 1 2 3 4 5 6. I need 6 of them. Then I write down on this one I use 2 meters, or it can be from some west somewhere. So it will depend with, you have to work also well with your fundis who are doing the roofing, so that if you know maybe for this I can find a west somewhere and put it, or maybe how you play about it, or you can just buy like a 2 meter sheet, then you know that you use it this side and this side, then you're done. Then if you want like on this longer side, remember to say that for me I want 2.5 to be somewhere where 2.5 where we are going to, like, I want when I place the nails they will be running on like the same line this way. So I don't want to place a 2 meter and a 3 meter sheet. I just want to be more of like uniform. So if you don't understand me, I think you will in a minute. So if I click like this one and I see that my primary one is going to be 2.5. This one is 4.3, and for me what I want is 2.5, the first one. So the length from this side to this side is 4.3 meters, and if you go directly to the factory, sometimes you can get a customized sheet which is very long, but in our case we're buying the normal ones in the shop, and most of them are 2 meters, 2.5 and 3 meters. So given that this is 4.3, and for me my primary ones at the bottom I want most of them to be 2.5, it means in this case I'm going to have one sheet 2.5, then another sheet 2 meters. So if you take 2.5 plus 2 meters and you add them together, you get 4.5. But remember again, we have some overlap. So for 2 plus 2.5, I think it will be very, very okay. So if I click on it and I check, this is 4.3. So the first sheet that we're going to go with will be 2.5, like I said. Then 2.5 I add on 2, get 4.5, but we'll have some overlap. So, and again I think we'll have some very small waste. But now how many do I need? So I just count this one, 1 2, then most likely 3. This is 1 2, then 3. Then on the top we're going to have 2.3. First of all, let me begin with this one, this short one. Sorry if I'm confusing you. There's someone sending me messages and I read it and it confused me a little bit. So first of all, here I'm going to go with 2 meters, because this one is very small. So I'm going to go with 2 meters. Okay, it's 1.2. You can go with 2 meters, or you can try to find a waste somewhere. Here, because this one is 2.18, now depending with what you will have used as overhang, but on my side is 2.1, it means to be longer than 2 meters. So what I'll go with will be 2.5. So I'm going to count 1 2 3. Here I think I'll have 4, but I'm not sure. But let me see, 4. Then for this one again is 2.9. So that one, let me leave it on. So I know 2.5, I have 1 2, I have this one 1 2, then 3, then 4. Okay, to that point we're okay. Then we'll have another sheet now running from this point all the way to the top, now to our ridge, from where the 2 meters end, 2.5 meters end, all the way to the ridge. And that one we said is 2 meters. So how many will I need? I'll need this one will be 1 2, again here 3, but here it will depend but let's count three. So let's count three. Then now here, like I said, when you check it, you'll see that it is 3 meters, somewhere around 2.9. So this side I can just decide and buy a long sheet which is 3 meters, so that will be 1. Then for the next one I'll go with 1.9. so this side I'll buy 2 meters, and this one is very small, so I know that I can find a waist somewhere. 10.261 meter, I know that I can find a waist somewhere. This one you most probably will find a waist somewhere, but if you want, you can count it. Then when you find a waist somewhere, you try and use it at that point. And for that one, it will be just the copy of this one. So what you get this side, you multiply by 2. Then you just do that on the entire thing. And I'd like you to try it. If you have a problem, just reach out. There's someone who's really like texting me a lot, and it's like there's an argument somewhere and I really need to handle it. So I'm going to end this one here. I don't know if I'll come back and do it again, but I feel like at this point you must understand. But if you don't, you can feel free to reach out and maybe I'll try to explain, or maybe in future I'll make a better one. But I know I've made a full tutorial on an entire house for using this method. Like this one here, I know I just use a 2 meter sheet, so I count 2 meter, and I know it has some waist. Okay, then for this one, like I said, the entire this one it would be about 2.5 meters sheets. It's 2.1, so that one I'll go with 2.5. So 2.5, 2.5, 2.5. But I know that the 2.5 on this side, it will run from somewhere around here where my mouse is, so there's be space to be filled. So like if 2.5, let me check this one first before I say if. This one is 3 meters, so it means 2.5 will be, I think, somewhere here. So if my 2.5 runs from somewhere here, definitely you see like this one will be more like a waist. So this one will be waist. So I mean it will be very small, so I can use the waist that maybe remained here, because here we remain with a very big waist that can be able to find a place here and you place it there. Then you continue. It's just simple. For me, it's very simple and something that I use to get very accurate results. And the place where this method is like the easiest to use usually is for like a school. If you are doing a school or a church, like something that is just gable roof, it will be very easy to estimate this method. I know like for this one it can confuse people sometimes for these small things where I say waist, but it needs you to know also to have a good understanding of roofing, because there are some waste which actually you can't use anymore, but there are some waste which you can find place somewhere. And usually when I'm estimating for any structure, I prefer to be working with or once I've done estimation and we are supposed to place the sheets, I prefer to work with the artisans and I show them how I did my estimation, how I placed this here and here. So that way when they are doing it also and they get a space, they know this one I need to place a waste, I need to do this. But now for me, I just work with the same team, so they know how my method work. But like I'm telling you, this is the best, and 100% you get the exact number of sheets that you want. For me, you get the exact number of sheets that you want. I can assure you for that on that one. And sometimes when you doubt yourself and you've done estimation, you can always do plus or minus, and it's good to do plus, so that you don't get any error. Then for the ridges, but I have to go and talk to the person. For the ridges, you just click on these ones and you'll be able to know the length of it. Then this one will help you to determine the ridges. There's usually a standard length of a ridge, so you know how many ridges you want. So this one is 1.7. Then you check also the other one, 3.5. So 3.5 plus 1.7, you divide by the number of the length of one ridge. Then you know what you need here, The same thing for the valleys. So it is easy and quicker, but now the only problem with it is you need to have a plan. So if you don't have the plan, then you'll have to draw it. Like in this case, I did not have the plan because I'm not the one who did the first design for the house. So I had to redraw the structure, and when I did redraw the structure, I did not place the windows. So that's why it looks like this way. But for me, my main aim was to know how many number of sheets I want. But if you get the drawing from a different person, the Archicad drawing, it becomes very easy to go through it. But let me know what you think about the same. My number is always in the description. Always in the description and my email as well, so feel free to reach out. See you in the next one.